Hey guys, thanks for joining me for yet another episode. So today's episode, we're going to dive into decision making. You are more than your bad decisions. It did not define who you are today. We all made a bad decision before. You know the feeling. In a moment, it seems like you made the right call, but afterwards, the impact of your decision sets in, and you realize your judgment was cloudy at that time. We're all human, which means we're not immune from making bad calls every once in a while. Although we can't go back in time and change our choice, we can lessen the impact it has on us today. So in many ways we could do that. You just have to accept your emotions on the decision that you made at that moment. Recognize what happened and how you felt during that time. Because ignoring and pretending it did not happen leaves the pain open and leaves you vulnerable and susceptible to keep feeling and repeating those feelings at that moment over and over, which is what we don't want to do. We need to focus on the cold, hard facts. Once we recognize and accept that our emotions we had following a poor decision, focus on the facts as to why. Why did you make that decision at that time, at that moment in time? What were you going through that made you make that decision at that time? What was happening during that time which prompted you to make that bad decision, that made you choose that path to take during that time? The lead to the poor decision, you may struggle to be objective. So it is good to find somebody to talk this out with. And if you don't want to talk about it because you are feeling that shame or that guilt for making that decision, just write it down. Write everything down so you can see it right in front of you, and you can break it down and strategize and analyze so you can see it. Because it's one thing to think about it and it could run through our head, but when we actually see it and we can give ourselves that feedback, or if you are talking it out with someone and they could be the objective party and talking it out, just getting it out. Like, long story short, just get it out so you can strategize it and understand your whys, what was going on during that moment in time that made you make that decision that you did make. And don't allow the bad decisions to consume you. You have to mentally separate yourself from that decision. In doing so, this can help you strip it of its power. So how many times have you made a decision in your life and it was a bad? And that could be anything. This is broad. And then we regret that decision later on down the line. We are feeding it power. We are giving it life because mentally we can't separate it from who we are. You know who you are. You know your character. You know emotional, what level you on. Like, you know who you are. But we are human. We are imperfect people. Mistakes are made. And we are given that freedom to make decisions at any given moment, at any given time. So at that point, we have to take the decision that we made, strip it of its power, because that did not define who you are, who you were at that time. You were dealing with a mentally cloudy judgment in character or in decisions at that time. And which is why it's important to be confident in your decision making. So once you do that and you strip it of its power, it should no longer affect you in no light. We're going to take a short break. See you later after the break. Hey everybody, welcome back from that short break we just had. So let's continue on this conversation about decision making. You have to forgive yourself. So don't be hard on yourself in the wake of a poor decision. We become our own worst enemy with poor decisions. We can spread way too much guilt rather than energy, wallowing in the guilt, rather than using that to go to our next move. Use the failure of your bad decision as leverage for your future success. How many of you can say that you are better because of the decisions that you made in your earlier years? I bet a lot of you can say that. So don't look at your bad decisions as something that hinders you in staying in that moment in time. Because a lot of our decisions make us who we are today. It makes us better people. We live and we learn, right? That's what life is about. Living and learning and getting through. So don't dwell in it. You got to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for that choice. And use it as leverage for the future to make yourself better and brighter and stronger. Accept your regret. After making a judgment call, your mind will likely be flooded with regret. This regret turns out can actually be a powerful tool for you. Regret can help you remember the things you want to avoid in life and actually help make better decisions. And like I said, you can live in that regret, but look at it as a positive outlook or outcome in that bad decision making. Because we can sit in regret all day, but what good is that going to do for us? It has to be your secret weapon. It has to be your motivation. It has to be everything that you may think it cannot be from making that decision that you made, because you've seen that side of that decision. So you know that you don't want to be on that other end of that decision again. So make it powerful, because it can make you a better person and make you start making better decisions. It can substitute your likes and your dislikes, your goals, your negotiable goals, versus the goals that you can be like, no, If your regret is all consuming, try practicing gratitude. We all have regret about a lot of things that we wish we did differently or didn't say. But those regrets don't have to control you. You have to learn to control your thoughts, to see the positive instead of negatives. One way you can see positives is by practicing gratitude. Each and every morning, make a list of different things, 3 to 5, 10, 20, however long you want that list to be, or however short you want that list to be, of things that you are grateful for. Things that you are grateful to have thus far in your life. Because that would make you see and appreciate and understand that bad decision that you made in the past did not define who you are today, did not change who you are today. And that will help you see that. And then you could create decision-making processes for the future. When it comes to making decisions in yourself, to be more confident in the decisions that you are making, you can identify the decision or the problem and be clear about your response to that decision or to the problem that you are trying to make the decision with. Collect info that will assist in your decision making. Consider various solutions in lead of that decision of making. Weigh the evidence for each solution that you write down. Make your decisions based off of those key elements that I named. And then take the action on the decision that you decided on to solve whatever problem it is you wanted to solve. And then review it. And once you see that panned out, and you could say your mindset has been changed. You have evolved to a different person. You did not let that define you. I'm glad that y'all listened in today. I really appreciate it. Until next time, thank you.